Hey, gentlemen, I just wanted to make a quick video to let you know how my TRT treatments are going. TRT treatments? Can you say TRT treatments? Isn't that, I guess, therapy treatments? I don't know. Anyway, sounds like ATM, right? The ATM machine, the machine. They're going great. Feeling better. Just as a reminder, the reason that I went for TRT treatment was because I was feeling really tired, lethargic. I was feeling unmotivated. I was feeling disconnected from myself. Those are the three that I can report were the most concerning. I would have to lay down and take a nap during the middle of the day, and not just a 20-minute reboot. Everybody, even in my 30s and 40s, I would work myself to the point where I would, lay down and take a 20-minute reboot nap. That's pretty common. But this is where I would lay down and I would just pass out for an hour. I would be so tired and I would feel like I was dragging the whole time, the whole day. And even after, that nap, I could still feel these lows, these dips, valleys in my energy and not being motivated, kind of white knuckling through everything. That was really concerning. And also just feeling disconnected from myself in general, not feeling like myself. Again, kind of just white knuckling through the day. Wasn't a way that I wanted to live. I was like, okay, something is up, and this is either hormone related or this is some sort of medical issue. Either way, I want to get it addressed. So, like I said, this is my second TRT treatment. It's just a shot. Took longer to walk from the parking lot to the building, to the elevator, to the office than it did to actually get the shot itself. And the group that I am seeing, Game Day Men's Health up in Cedar Park, fantastic group. As soon as I walked in the door, they're like, hey, there's Charlie, right? And I was like, holy crap, they remember my name. That's cool. And I know, you could say, well, they're in the business to do that. Sure. But a lot of businesses are in the business of customer service and they don't do it. So it was great that they just remembered my name. They didn't have to look me up and then be like, oh, Charlie. They remembered my name. And then when I left, they're like, all right, we'll see you next time, Charlie. There's a lot of power in that, a lot of power in hearing your own name, right? There was I can't remember who, an editor who said, a newspaper editor who said, if I could, I would do nothing but just publish people's names in the newspaper because everybody likes to hear their name, see their name in print, that sort of thing. It's just like we want to be valued and we want to be recognized, and it's just a normal, natural human thing. And so it was a great experience going up there, getting the shot, and then as far as my results. Guys have asked me like, okay, so does this actually do anything? Look, I started noticing a difference. I'll just call it a difference that day, the first day that I got my shot. Now, could that have been because I was just excited? Could it have been that I was hopeful and optimistic, that I felt good about doing something for myself, caring for myself, taking the initiative to care about me and my health? Possibly. So I didn't want to oversell it to anybody that on the first day that I was starting to feel a difference. But day 2, day 3, day 4, it was obvious to me that I was starting to feel better, that I was starting to feel an energy shift, that I was little by little starting to feel motivated again, little by little starting to feel like myself again. And that is hugely important to me, and I think probably would be important to any man. So yes, almost immediately that day I started feeling a difference. Over the course of the week, I started feeling more and more of a difference. This week, I think I got my shot day before yesterday, Wednesday. Today's Saturday. Today's Saturday. So, I'm partway through the second shot, and I feel good. Right? I can feel a noticeable difference. So basically, at this point, I'm going to get a series of 6 shots. I'm on my second shot. I got 4 more to go, At that point, what happens is they check my levels to see where I am. They'll draw blood, they'll send it to the lab, they'll figure out where my hormone levels are, and if we need to adjust, we will. And I have a consult with the doctor to discuss that, where we come up with a game plan together, we agree on it, and then we go from there. So at some point, I will start giving myself the injections, giving myself the shots at home. That way I don't have to go into the office, and the only time I will go into the office will be for drawing blood and doing labs and those types of just maintenance assessments. And all of those labs are already paid for the year, so I don't have to worry about that. Don't have to have that conversation every time. And as far as the treatment itself, as soon as I say have it delivered to my home, then everything will be just basically on a subscription basis, where it just, I pay for it and it comes and I do the thing and I just move on, right? Move on with my day. I brush my teeth, once a week I'll brush my teeth, or I'll brush my teeth every day, but once a week I'll brush my teeth and, give myself a shot and just move on with my day. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to feeling like myself, is at whatever percentage that is, 100%, for where I am right now. I'm 53 years old. I've got a lot of life ahead of me. I've got things to do, things that I want to do, things that I need to do, and I don't need to be dragging, white knuckling through life, feeling unmotivated and disconnected from myself. If this were insulin or any other supplemental treatment, we wouldn't hesitate to do it. But as men, we start to question, whether or not this is okay for us, whether or not, we're doing something wrong, whether or not, there's stigmas attached to this type of thing, that somehow we're lacking or deficient or weak or not good enough or whatever. And it's just not true. It's just not true. If our body's not producing it naturally, and we need it in order to, for everything to function, not just, not just energy levels and all of that, but just the system to function properly, then that's what's required, right? If your vehicle needed power steering fluid, if it needed brake fluid, if it needed transmission fluid, if it needed oil, if it needed water in the radiator, if it needed, anything that it needed to operate and function properly, you would give it. So why not do that for yourself? So that's where I am. I just want to give you guys an update. That's shot number 2. I'll update you next time. Shot number 3, we'll see where that goes. And until then, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.